Obviously, we are live. I thought we were live the whole time because I did press the broadcast, but for some reason it hasn't been broadcasted. So I really hope things are very smooth on our end because I don't want to repeat what happened a few days ago as well. So welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix. We were talking about the whole of that, and the stream is up, by the way, in the chat, says Tiger Buka. So I apologise about that. Apparently it's been put to scheduled. I really hate when it does that. Why couldn't you just go live immediately? I have no option to do that. So before we were talking about Mindful Wasp, his performances fluctuate throughout the season. He's got some very strong tracks, he's got some weaknesses on other tracks. We've seen him on his good days, bad days as well, back in Mexico when he was up there, and Brazil and Abu Dhabi last season as well. So Mindful Wasp is also one to look out for. As Tiger Buka says, hi. He got replaced by DJ in the Red Bull then, so Tiger Buka didn't even attend any single race here in Division 2. He did early on in the season, but when he got promoted to Red Bull, he left immediately, so quicker than Liam Lawson did, as we see Lord by the top G cross the lines go for a lap again. So welcome to the stream. It is round number 11, I believe it is, for the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is Division 2. My name is Jamie Morris, and alongside me tonight is the former Division 2 champion and former Div 2 racer. His name is Owen Mansell. Welcome, mate.
Hello, mate. It's a bit weird to do another intro again, but yeah, like I said earlier, it's nice to be on comms for Division 2. Like you said, I'm a former Div 2 driver, obviously last season champion as well.
I was joking.
So I basically took my aim. Well, I basically took what I want, and now I'm literally like I suppose sitting back a little bit now and just trying to enjoy comms and before I decide on what I'm going to do next season. But for now, I'm just going to sit back for now and enjoy the comms.
Nice one indeed. So Electro Down was the one to win here. I mentioned that before the stream started. He won the Brazilian Grand Prix, defended from Lord by the Top G. Top G is in the pit lane. He was a few hundreds down in the middle sector, so not overall satisfied with that lap time, and he believes he can't fall my time. What's President Lee going to do? Because I mentioned President Lee. He's a very interesting character to watch out for as well. Had a strong race at the Monza Grand Prix, but unfortunately I think Carnage and Chaos was involved on that day as well. So he has showed some really good pace, has President Elite. In Abu Dhabi, he started down in last, but got caught up in the midfield mayhem, so therefore dropped backwards. I remember him spinning, making contact with somebody down that turn, number 15 on the right-hander. So I really hope President Lee finds his form, finished P3 in Monza, like I said, and I think at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, he finished quite far back due to his problems. So this is his third race here. I think we'll see what he's capable of as well. But Velocio Jr. is currently on pole. It is brand new team at the Aston Martin. Was teammates, of course, with Yusuf, but Yusuf and Yusuf have set the exact same lap time.
Wow. I'm literally, I've just noticed that.
Unbelievable scenes in there. If you were still talking, you got cut off because I think you liked that a bit. So here comes Velocio Jr. then on his next flying lap.
Sorry.
Apparently, he has done it's okay. He's done about 3 or 4 sets of. Yeah, he's done about 3 laps on the set of soft compound tyres. So this is not a brand new set, but I'm intrigued. Can he improve on this set of soft compound tyres? He's absolutely flying. And plus, with a 7.2 as his first lap, considering the amount of fuel he's carrying in that car, tells me that there's more lap times to be found there from the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, the Ferrari of Zenum, who's had very, very difficult races, as he still seems to be struggling on this game and still seems to can't put his bad habits behind him. He's up into P2 with a 7.5. That's an incredible effort there from seeing him. And also Yoram goes up into P2 as well. He was leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but unfortunately he picked himself up a 3-second penalty. He was clear of the fights behind, but Burmeister was the one to capitalise. And talk about Burmeister, he does struggle in qualifying. He's down in P15 right now, but we know his race pace is formidable, so watch out for him storming through the field as we watch the Aston Martin driver. Can he raise the bar again as he crosses the line? He can't. But bearing in mind that's 4 lap old soft compound tyres though, so plenty more time to be found. I dare say the only prediction is qualifying, he will get the 6s as we watch Neymar. Neymar's an interesting driver, but he seems to get himself in contact as well because he's got some really good pace. We've seen it in the past as we see Samid, who promotes himself, catapults himself up into P4. And if I do remember, a few seasons ago, he did score a podium fighting for the win with his Aura in Division 1 as well. So Samid knows what it's like to drive around here in Brazil.
Yeah, obviously, Samad is a driver that I also recognise, and I've also done commentating on Division One in the past. So Samad, it's good to see him back, of course, and obviously he's kind of doing it, I suppose, an MDJ, and I think it wasn't Jensen, but basically he's done an MDJ where he's had a couple of the seasons off, and he's made a return. Obviously, MDJ is back here full time with us. Obviously, we've got a lot, no offense, MDJ, but a lot quicker guys now in Division One. So he's been demoted down to Division Two. So it's nice to see MDJ also back as well.
The two Yusufs are currently on a flying lap. MDJ has dived off into the pit lane. It's an 8.3 there, so he will not be happy with that lap time. Of course, the runner-up in Season 15, challenging with Hurricane. Here comes Yusuf now. Downhill he goes. Look at Yusuf. He's a 10th and a bit up in lap number sector there. And a 10th and a bit could put yourself flying up the order because the times are so compact around here. We might see him jump up the order dramatically. So let's see what the first Yusuf does of Yusuf Shabek, who puts himself and he goes across the line. It's P8 with a 7.7 exactly. His teammate Yusuf, as he makes his way towards the pit lane, he will not complete that lap time. That's going to get so confused, by the way, with Yusuf and Yusuf, because I can't exactly say his last name in P11 there. But Martin, welcome, mate. How are you doing? Former Div 2 driver, of course. Former race winner as well. So he's currently down in Division 3 right now, hoping to find his feet once again as Lord Danny Boy goes up into P10.
Yeah, so only two drivers are out on track at the moment. And is he on the lap? No, he's not. So both of these not even on the lap either. But Yarham seems to be going to be the first person to set that lap time. He might have put a little bit more fuel in. So he has 2 goes at this. New tyres on, of course, as well. As we can see, 0 laps hold. Soft compound tyres. So yeah, let's see if Yarham can make this work. Obviously, he's only 2/10 off my old car, let's say, as he's actually retired as well. So it's nice to see my old car doing well in pole position at the moment.
The challengers then are making their way to the pit lane. Yarham has came out relatively early. That's because if he invalidates his first lap or makes a mistake, he has always got that second lap to try and rectify his mistakes. And here comes Yarham and out of the Junsao. Sorry about that. Here he is on the main straight there with the DRS wide open. You mentioned traffic because the traffic is now heading on the pit lane. But it's only 3 cars. It's a Haas, Alpine Williams, and the Kick Sauber who are making their way to the pit lane as we head down towards turn 1. They're clipping the apex on the inside. The movement, look at that, the back of the car snapping. And just like that, his lap time has been ruined there as he couldn't really find any rear stability in that Haas and therefore has to back out of it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the lucky thing is with Yarham, obviously he came out early to maybe do 2 laps and he's still got enough time to do another lap. So obviously he's got 2 minutes 20 seconds left to do another lap. Might even have time to do another lap after the next one, depending on how much fuel he's put in the car. But I'd imagine he's only put enough fuel to do 2 laps around here. But obviously he's messed up pretty much straight away. But I suppose it's a bit of benefit to be messing up where he did. Just so he can save up his ERS. Obviously, he's already at a back up at 200% already, so he can go for another lap. But I think he's got his teammate right in front of him as well, so he might be able to get some slipstream off his teammate of Clusser as Clusser is also about to begin a lap. But I think also Lord Brad, the top G, is just started his lap now. So obviously he's coming through the Senna S's now. So let's see what his first. What the Sector 1 time is going to be. Currently on 1 minute 7.7, and he's about half a tenth up on his time at the moment.
Massive oversteer out of turn 4 there as he hit the curb, throw him off balance, but he lost a bit of time as well. Only a few hundreds up in the first sector as we now head towards the double right-hander with the McLaren just in the way, but thankfully gets out of it in the very last second then. So Lord Brad, the top G, has got a lot of work to do to try and make up the time in the middle and the last set. So the middle part of the lap being twisty as well, full of slow speed corners, as now we make our dive down towards Magulio, sorry, I said that twice now, as Lord Brad the top G is a 10th up though, so despite that mistake in turn 4 as he had a massive swapper on, he's still fine time in the middle sector there. What could it have been for him? Would he have backed out of it? As now we've got the DRS wide open. Let's see what he does as he dashes towards the line. It's going to be a 7.5 and he goes up into P3. What a lap time there. If he didn't make a mistake out of turn 4, what could it have been? Here comes our rivals now with Yarham on his second flying lap on the same set of the soft compound tyres. Kluser is in P13. Here comes Yarham, 2/10 down in that middle sector there. Did not improve. Samin as well. He has also invalidated lap time. Zedem is going for a flying lap. Every single driver then out on the track. Barring Volochev Jr., President Elite is a 10th down in the first sector. Caspino is a few hundreds down in the middle part of the lap as he makes his way now towards the line. Can Nasaba get inside the top 10? The answer is yes. He puts himself into P10. Where's Burmeister? Burmeister is 2/10 up in the middle sector. He's down in P17, having a miserable time here in qualifying as he always does. But here comes the championship leader. It's only P14 for him as Yusuf, Mr. Joker, goes into P5 as we see more cars cross the line. MTJ goes P6, Emils goes P6 as Zenum goes up into P4. Here comes the Ferrari driver across the line. It's P2 with a 7.337 there. What a great lap time indeed. Where's President Elite in the McLaren? 3/10 down in the middle sector. Where's Yusuf Shabek in the RB? He's heading on to the main straight now with the DRS wide open as Neymar's in P6. Here comes Yusuf towards the line. He backs off and it's only P11 there for Yusuf. Our last week's pole sitter, unfortunately, has been shuffled outside the top 10. Mindful Wasp is next across the line in the Alpine as he makes his way now to cut the beam. He stays in P9, unfortunately. And Adams dead last here at the Brazilian Grand Prix, unfortunately, and he'll have to make a comeback drive from there. I think he started, at the back of the field as well, also in Brazil a few seasons ago, and he had to make his way through. But Oliver Caspino are done. That's qualifying and done and dusted. And Velocio Jr. is on pole once again with a 7.231 on 4-lap hole set of soft compound tyres. What a statement that was. And that is qualifying commenced then. And my standout for me got to be Zenum P2.
Yeah, we know that both Ferrari guys normally make mistakes in the race. Hopefully, touch wood, luckily my desk is made of wood, takes his time and actually can get through cleanly.
Zenum still looking for his first podium of the season, promising pace from the Ferrari, but just can't seem to minimise the mistakes he's doing so far. Like the spins he's having, he treats every lap like it's a time trial lap. We've heard Harry Kane talk about Zenum as well. Well, I've heard Harry Kane talk about Zenum. He uses time trial setups and treats every lap like it's a push lap. Not adapted to the situation where the tyres get older, heavy fuel as well. So Zenum drastically needs to change his driving style. But it's the Aston Martin of Velocio Jr. on pole ahead of Zenum in P2. The Haas of Yarman in P3, crucial for him in the championship to get Burmeister. Lord by the top G, a great qualifier for him in the kick Sauber. Yusuf in P5 ahead of Neymar. Savage 7th ahead of President Elite. Electro down P9. Lord Danny Boy rounds off the top 10. Yusuf Shabek in P11 ahead of Oliver Caspino in P30 with Burmeister, the championship leader, down in a lonely 14th. Alice Copo is 15th ahead of Mills. MDJ, Klusler, Mindful Wasp, and Adams will start at the back of the field. First to 20th is separated by under a second as well, so it's super close in this division. But Burmeister, we know he does have the race pace to go through. Can the champion show what he's capable of and make his way through the field?
Champion?
I say, can the championship leader?
He's not the champion just yet. I am still the champion of this division, don't forget. But yeah, obviously Burmeister, obviously last season he was my championship rival, as we all know. That epic conclusion in Abu Dhabi, what a race that was. But I think after that race, he really has made a statement in this division. Obviously, he's about 30 points ahead, I think, now in the championship. And to be honest, obviously from last season when I was racing against him, and obviously the way he's been racing this season, it doesn't seem like him losing out the championship last season by I can't remember how many points it was, probably about 4 points or something like that. It doesn't look like that affected him at all, and he's really made a statement this season to say, I am having a championship, and he's definitely on his way to a championship. And like I said, he definitely deserves one. And to be honest with you, I've said in interviews many times, he definitely deserves it, and he should have it at some point, and hopefully it'll be at the end of this season, and it'd be nice to see him as a champion. But obviously he's still got work to do. It's still not finished just yet. Still got another 7-8 rounds to go, so it's still a long way to go yet. But like I said, it'll be nice to see him as a champion at some point.
Indeed, so 8 rounds left to go, including this race here in Brazil. Burmeister out of position in P14, but we do know the race pace truly comes alive in that Williams there. Can Yusuf, can Adams, can Velocio Jr. take advantage of Burmeister, although Adams started in last place for the time being there. So, whilst there is a lull in the session, I'll read you the championship standings right now. It's been updated after Abu Dhabi, where we raced last week, and also talk about Abu Dhabi. I might as well read you the results as well from last week. So, it was Burmeister who won ahead of Lochev Jr. because both RBs crashed in the wall at turn 5. Yarn finished in P3 with a 10-second time penalty. Adams was 4th with a great result from 11th, as Yusuf dropped to 5th from starting pole. Lord Alam finished in P6 ahead of Caspino, who had a different qualifying as well. Emils finished in P8 ahead of Ruda on his debut. Ruda is not here tonight, but he definitely showed what he's capable of from right to the top of the field, but got unlucky during that second safety car stint. Atlas Cooper then rounds off the top 10 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Then moving on to the championship standings, it is Burmeister who leads by 40 points ahead of Yusuf in the Racing Bull. Adams is currently P3 with the same points as Velocio Jr. They both have 1-2-2. Do Adams and Velocio Jr. Further back is Joram, 2 points shy of Velocio Jr. and Adams. Neymar is P6 with 107. Klusler is P7 ahead of Manso, who's 8th place. Electro Dan's got the same points as Manso. Alex Copo with 89, with Lord by the top G with 88. Oliver's P12 with 83. Lord by the top Lord Danny Boy, sorry, is P13 with 82. Lord Alum is P14 with 75. Caspino is 15th with 59. 16th is Mindful Wasp with 53. Zenum, Emils, Takabuka, and President Leeds, who made his debut a few races ago back at the Italian Grand Prix, where he scored a podium but got demoted afterwards with a post-race penalty. But Williams lead the Constructors' Championship, 289 points separated between them and Racing Bulls. It is separated by 16 points from first to second. Aston Martin P3 with a new driver in the shape of Velocio Jr. and Haas a P4, 2 points behind Aston Martin, 216, 214. Mercedes P5 with 196, ahead of McLaren with 192. Kick Sauber P7 with 153. Alpine 8th with 148. Ferrari P9 with 131. And Red Bull at the back of the field with their torrid time so far. So let's see, can Red Bull try and get themselves out of 10th place? But we look at the tyre compounds, and it is mediums, hards, and a few people have gone on the soft compound tyres, man. So.
Yeah, it was, while he was going through that, I was quite interested to see Cluster and Mindful Wasp on soft compound tyres. So maybe they can be used around the circuit, or maybe there's rain involved. Obviously, in Brazil, there is most likely is going to be rain at some point. So we'll see how that strategy works out for them.
Indeed, then. So they're looking to try and gain as many places as they can at the start of the race before their soft compound tyres do come to an end. So all 20 drivers, they're making their way on the grid, and we should see the lights go off very soon. Of course, Brazil have gained a Brazilian driver this year with Gabriel Bortoleto in the Kick Sauber. But here we go, 3, 4, 5 lights. Round 10 is underway at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Zeno gets a better start. Then Velocio Jr. already muscles his way back into P1. And here comes Joram side by side with Velocio Jr. But he has the inside line covered. But Joram gets it back in towards turn 3. And this time he puts himself into P2. So our pole sitter has lost 2 places there. But here comes the Aston Martin once again, wheel to wheel with the Haas man. But the Haas has the inside line, breaks a bit later, and therefore stays in P2. But a relatively clean start so far from everybody, with a few people changing and chopping there, with President Elite overtaking Yusuf. Is that on the inside? It is on Ferradora. Does he get past? Yes, he does. So what's a move to put himself into P4 there, as down the inside goes an Alpine, I believe it is. Is that Samid looking for a move on Electro Dan? He's still trying to go on the outside, but there's not enough space there. Now he's under pressure from the other Yusuf as he goes wheel to wheel with him down towards turn 10. But look at that, was there contact between Electro Dan and Neymar? I do believe it was, and Electro Dan has been shuffled down into P10 unfortunately, so I think he tried to overtake it, but here comes Yusuf. But there's contact, he's in the grass, and that was very weird there, because it looked like to me it was D6, so Yusuf unfortunately will be joined down in last place, and that's a massive shame there.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Little bit like, I don't know, bouncing off the floor for me. I don't know if it's the same for you, but
yeah, same for me.
I don't know if lag was involved or not, but yeah, that's interesting there from Yusuf that he's down up to P20, but I don't think he's got any damage. He's able to continue and right at the back of the pack, so he's not falling too far away.
Look at this then on the retro straight. Here comes Lord Danny Boy now, trying to make it 3 abreast, trying to go for a double overtake. Does he make it stick? The Alpine's in the middle there, but he does make it stick. And through goes Electro Dan there. As Burmeister now puts himself into P10 from start to down to P14. Here we go towards Ferradora. They're going to feel sorry for the Sammy because he got shuffled backwards quite a few places. He went from like P8 or P8 to P12 right now, so he lost a few places during that. He was in the middle, a corkscrew there, as we can see Mills now side by side with Oliver as we head down towards the corner we go. So it's Zeedham then who leads the Grand Prix for the first time since a very long time ago. Can he control this race? Can we see something different from the Ferrari driver? Is he going to keep it nice and composed as Adams there fires away with Klusler, gets a massive swapper on out of Judd Sau. The Red Bull driver, the Haas driver will find himself all over the back of him, but he is carrying a lot of people behind him as well. Is with the DRS enabled on this lap there. DRS trades, we'll see.
The Aston Martin's gone wide. Veloce's gone wide, really wide, and completely lost his braking point, and he's got dropped down lower the positions, and now here comes everyone else.
All going to give space there because, but there's contact between the two Aston Martins. Here comes Neymar around the outside. Here comes Lord Danny Boy. Here comes Burmeister as we head down towards turn 4. Almost 4 wide, like you said, but Burmeister takes the place away. As we see in the background, Lord Danny Boy has spun the car, unfortunately, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Got squeezed in the middle there, and there was nothing he could do about that. That was all caused by Velocio Jr. rejoined, of course. Nothing he did wrong, but I dare say Velocio Jr. should have gave a bit more space there for Electro Dan, who was trying to overtake him in towards turn 3. Not much space given. He got pitched on the curb, and therefore Neymar came flying around the outside in towards turn 3, took the place away. And now Electro Dan finds himself under pressure from Caspino right behind on the hard compound tyres then. So still at the front of this field. Lord Brad, the top G, however, has lost a lot of time towards the top 4. I think in that equation was, Yusuf, but unfortunately dropped backwards. No, it was Velocio Jr. But here comes Velocio Jr., here comes President Elite. So Zeedham has been demoted twice. Oh, Zeedham's on the grass, and he spun the car! Oh my goodness, it gets from bad to worse for Zeedham there. Just impatient, there was no need to go for that move. You just had to settle in P3 and wait for your opportunity arose, because he got swamped by President Elite. Yoro came through, and Zeedham thinking about the short term rather than the long term here. There was absolutely no need for that. And put yourself in precarious situations like this is ultimately that's what's cost you during the Grand Prix. So even if it's not spinning by himself, it's still mistakes like this that's what cost you. You need to think and use your head during the races. As here comes Neymar down the inside of Lord by the top G, squeezes him, goes out wide. Now he's sliding through the corner. Here comes Electro Dan looking to take advantage as well. These two were fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix last season. Electro Dan tries to go on the outside towards turn 10, doesn't have the grip to do it, and therefore Lord by the top G stays ahead. But Lord by the top G has lost a bit of pace. Was in P5, is outside the DRS trade, and Zeedham's been overtaken, but always spun again.
Oh, that's unlucky there from Zeedham. Like I said, both Ferraris, they seem to do well in qualifying, but then coming in a race, they just have a nightmare. And it's happened again, unfortunately.
When will it ever change?
McLaren of President Elite has literally done the same mistake of what Zeedham did. Not too bad, but he's luckily just got away with staying in the DRS of Yaham.
And now the top 3 then are left alone to fight out for the Grand Prix. Here comes Burmeister here once again, fights his way through the field there. As you can see, the race pace being much better than his qualified pace, but obviously you need a good qualified to try and put yourself up the order to have a better chance to try and fight towards first place, because it can be a bit difficult sometimes, especially when the DRS trade has been broken up, because back at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Burmeister was quite far away due to the leading pack pulling away, let's say, until that safety car came out, which changed the whole trajectory and phase of the Grand Prix. So Burmeister is currently in P7. He is currently about 6 seconds off the lead of the Grand Prix. He's got the Aston Martin of Electro Dan in front of us. He's got Neymar right in front of us as well. He's got Velocio Jr., who is trying to regain some lost time as I think he went wide out of turn 1 and turn 2, but he's trying to get back in that DRS trade of Yusuf and President Elite and Yoram as well. Let's see what happens going down towards turn 1. Is Yusuf close enough to make a move? No, he's not. He just stays behind for the time being, just waiting for the right opportunity. But Neymar's definitely gaining Velocio Jr. I think he made a mistake because the gap was 1.9. Now it's 2.6. So I think he made a mistake, and now Neymar could be in the back of him.
Yeah, Electro Dan is also got DRS on Neymar, but Neymar doesn't get DRS on the Aston Martin there, so gives an opportunity for Electro Dan maybe to get even closer, but not close enough, of course. But obviously Neymar's now pretty much survived from Electro Dan, because now obviously he'll get the DRS going into nearly the final corner. The top three are really close together at the moment. This could be our top three if there's no safety car, because they just keep on pulling away from obviously Veloce Jr. So they can keep it up. It's definitely a certain podium for the top three right now.
Contact between the Red Bull and the RB, and now Adams is looking to take advantage. I think Lord Danny Boy aggressively went down the inside of the RB, but couldn't quite make it stick, and therefore had to relieve the place towards Adams. He puts himself into P16. Great recovery drive from Yusuf as well from spinning. He's up into P15 on the back of this train as well. So all is not lost there from the RB and Yusuf. It's just decent in my opinion. There was nobody's fault really, but it was just hard but fair racing. But at the same time, unfortunately, it was decent between those two, whoever it was at the time. But once again, Yara, President Elite, Yusuf, Mr. Joker is Yusuf the P3. Not to get confused with the other Yusuf Shabak. As here comes President Elite then, as he takes the lead of the Grand Prix, puts himself into first place. And it must be said then as well that President Elite is having a much cleaner race than he did back in Abu Dhabi. He was all over the road in Abu Dhabi as well, making contact left, right, centre. But this time having a better race here in Brazil as he qualified in last place at the time. Oh, Yoram taps the back of the McLaren as well, going down towards turn 6 and turn 7. That break himself. Electro Dan then the first man in the field, already picking up that 3-second time penalty in the race.
I'll correct you. There is actually Oliver picking up a first 3-second penalty.
Oh yeah, I could see.
Electro Dan just obviously, like you said, just picks up that penalty there. So probably won't be good for him later on in the Grand Prix, but obviously it's still early on. It is likely to get a 3-second penalty around here. So hopefully for him, more people to get penalties, so he doesn't lose too many positions. But there's definitely a DRS train going on at the moment. It's starting to spread out a little bit between the medium runners and the hard runners. Obviously, the hard runners should now start to be coming back into these guys again. But Burmeister has done well so far, able to get up to P14 to P7 at the moment. So what's that, 7 positions so far? So he's making good progress at the moment. His next target is obviously the next 3 that's basically ahead of him, and then it's going to be a challenge for himself to catch up to the top 3, but as we just saw there, Veloce, Arab Jr., Neymar getting past Veloce Jr. just after turn number 4.
Yeah, so they're trying to catch up to the top 3, but it's going to be so difficult. If you remember back in Austria, Lord Danny Boy and Burmeister were together trying to get up to Yarm at the time as DJ picks a 3-second time. That was really good teamwork because those guys were 6 seconds behind. Then they stopped fighting, and then they said, right, let's work together and let's make an alliance right now. Let's just work together, use each other for DRS, slingshot it past each other, and get closer towards the top 3, because that's what we need to do. If we keep fighting amongst ourselves, then there's no point. Why don't we just use each other for DRS and go past? Because we know the top 3, they're going to close their DRS, they're not going to go for their moves. As you can see, Yusuf is not going for the move just yet, and personally, it's just a patient, high-speed game of chess around here, as Veloce Jr. there puts himself back into P4. But yes, I would definitely work with the rival behind me, then betray them towards the Grand Prix, when I finally caught up with the DRS. But Lord Brad G in P7 doesn't really seem to make any inroads. He keeps falling backwards, so I wonder if it's a setup issue, whether he doesn't like the track or not. Maybe he's just not liking the track whatsoever. But last year he did when he finished in P2, but here today it's a completely different story around here in Brazil. He's not able to keep up with the pace ahead despite starting in a really good place, which I believe was P4 it was, as he's down to P8 right now. So it's just a shame for him that's happened.
Yeah, it is. Where is he now? P8. Yeah, so he's obviously on those hard compound tyres at the moment. 1.5 seconds off at the moment. But obviously, these medium compound tyres, they should start to fall off a little bit now. So hopefully for his sake, he'll be able to pull it in. But Saman's right behind him. Obviously, he's got a DRS train pretty much behind him. But yeah, he keeps making little mistakes here and there. But hopefully, he can start catching these guys, especially Burmeister and that lot. But Yusuf, he's just not overtaken President Elite, so he seems to be happy. Well, the top 3 just seem to be happy where they are at the moment. Obviously, if they start fighting, they're going to lose time. And like Veloce Jr. and Neymar, they're not really battling too hard with each other. They're just overtaking each other, trading DRS to try and catch up to these guys, like you said earlier. And at the moment, it seems to be working a little bit. You've got a yellow flag. He's like that Lord Danny Boy who has spun at the centre S's.
Oh, Lord Danny Boy as well, also having a rotten luck. Ever since he got dropped to Division 2, we showed some promising signs for Lord Danny Boy, because when he arrived in Austria, he scored a podium, and unfortunately he's gone downhill since then. So even in Division 2, he is struggling as well around here in this second phase. But it is still the top three leading. I noticed on the straight on the last lap, the gap was 1.2 between Velocio Jr. and Yusuf. But once they crossed the line, the gap was 1.9. You can definitely tell the power of the DRS. You can definitely tell the disadvantages outside the DRS as well. That's why it's so crucial not to fight so hard in the opening stage of the Grand Prix. Yes, and maybe on lap 1, but after that, try and get yourself into a nice, comfortable position to set yourself up ready for the race. It's all about tactical team play. It's not, you can't go through every single lap, unfortunately. That's not how it works. But Yusuf down the inside in towards turn 1. It's a late braking manoeuvre, but President Elite converges to the inside. Is it a switchback from Yusuf then, who gets a better exit as President Elite was forced into a acute angle, a tight angle, and now Yusuf and President Elite are going side by side, but they're losing touch towards Joram. Will they end their battle? No, Yusuf's back down. There's contact between the two. Both of them have made contact going down into turn 4. That was a very risky move, and now the consequences is that Joram has pulled away from second and third place. That was a big mistake there. Yusuf, should he have backed out? Because that's cost him dearly.
Yes. Yeah, President Elite was ahead there. He had full right on that corner. Yusuf should have backed out of that corner, unfortunately. But for Yaham's sake, he would have loved that. Obviously, you've now like DRS, so Yaham will be just looking now to try and have that 1 second, well above 1 second at all points now. Obviously, we've seen Yaham pace. He normally goes, just pulls away like he is now. Obviously, he got a bit lucky with that contact between President Elite and Yusuf, but with obviously the DRS, they can just pull him back in again. But obviously, Yusuf now will get past President Elite. Obviously, this time President Elite with no DRS gets that move done, as obviously Veloce Jr., Neymar, and Burmeister and Electro Dan, they've swapped positions, are all now caught up to these guys. So a podium is now on for them, but can they catch up to Yaham? That's going to be now another question to be asking.
Say again, sorry. What'd you say?
I said, can they catch up to Yaham? That's going to be another question.
If they were together, yes. If they could continue scrapping in like obscure places like Turf 4 going side by side, then no. So, but what it has done is helped Velocio Jr., Neymar and Burmeister and Electro Dan to be brought back in this party as well. So these guys have regrouped with the DRS train, thanks to President Elite and Yusuf there. Yusuf, unfortunately, who has broken the DRS, and well, like you said, when Yara breaks out of DRS, he's able to pull away now and try and build a comfortable gap to the rest of them behind as well. So can he keep that gap over a second? We did see back in Abu Dhabi where he did build a gap, but unfortunately, he picked himself up a 3-second penalty, and that's what cost him towards the end of the Grand Prix as well. So can he keep that gap stabilised over 2 seconds, sorry. He made a big mistake in Abu Dhabi, and therefore the DRS was brought back into play for Burmeister. But here comes, look at this, a multi-car scrap going down towards turn 1. Yusuf gets back ahead of a President Elite and puts himself into P2. Lord by the top G and Samid, both half runners in P9 and P2. You expect their tyres to be a bit better, but I'm not really seeing them making any inroads so far, and anybody so far. So, but MDJ, talk about him, from P17 to P8 hasn't got a notice from me, so well done to MDJ there, despite having a difficult qualifying pace. He's up there in P8. Yes, he does have a 3-second penalty, but he's still doing a good job as well in this race, keeping the points in the right direction, keeping it nice and clean, and has got a decent gap behind as well. But Lord by the top G and Samid, Andy Mills and Oliver behind are pressurising, so that's a little quartet, or maybe 5 people in there as well. But look at that, out wide goes Burmeister, makes a mistake. That's very weird to see from Burmeister, but he keeps the car pointed in the right direction. Electro Dan will pounce at any given moment, but unfortunately, the man that won the Hungarian Grand Prix and the Brazilian Grand Prix last season has picked himself up a 3-second penalty, which would be detrimental because the chance of a podium would be very slim indeed. But the gap stabilising between first and second there. The gap stabilising about 2.1 seconds, so not really gaining or losing. But in the pit lane goes Velocio Jr. and the President Elite then. So it's the only way to catch up now is an undercut.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, with the DRS train like that, there's not much really you can do apart from pit a little bit earlier. Get that undercut. Obviously, undercuts on this game is quite powerful around here. We've got an Aston Martin of Electro Dan actually spun as well, so that's not a good at all for him. He can't even really get underway. He's just got underway now, so he's lost a lot of time there, at least 10 seconds. That's unfortunate for him.
Right then, so Electro Dan's race going from bad to worse. He was in the lead of the race, well, one of the leaders of the race in that pack, but unfortunately he's been separated now with that spin down at turn 2. So I'm quite sure if it was contact with anybody, but I dropped it by himself. But obviously the mediums are reaching the end of their peak performance there, so I can explain why Electro Dan spun down at turn number 2. It is a very easy place to spin because if you take too much curb on the inside, it will settle the rear, just like it did with Electro Dan in qualified as well. It really unsettled the balance of the car. Yusuf is catching only slightly though, as Neymar has a massive swap around going out of the Johnstown corner, and Burmeister might take advantage. Here he is, side by side, overtakes him before DRS enabled, and Burmeister says, "Thank you very much, mate. I will take away P3." Once again, the Dutchman of Burmeister, from starting P13, is making his way through the field one by one, and he is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. Despite having bad qualifying pace, he backs it up and makes sure his race pace setup is well suited towards his car and his driver's style, and therefore he's making places. So even though he's losing in qualifying, at least he can make it back up in the race, because usually qualifying, when you have a bad quali but you know you've got decent race pace, I tend to find myself stuck in those DRS trades, can't find anywhere despite me being quicker than them. I just can't go anywhere. But Burmeister seems to be making the moves and he's making them work as well, but none of these guys pitted just yet.
Yeah, obviously the guys that they got to look out for at the moment is Veloce, Alb Jr. and President Elite, but currently they're stuck behind Lord Danny Boy. So obviously it's not great news for them, but good news for the leaders. But yeah, at the moment Burmeister is doing some good moves. He's taking full advantage of other people's mistakes. There has been a couple of mistakes so far from other drivers that's literally just happened right in front of him, so he's taking full advantage of that. That's one of the reasons why he's in the position that he is at the moment. Johan has now come into the pits as well, so look out for him to see where he comes out on track. It looks like he's going to be out in free traffic unless Velatria Jr. and President Elite's had an amazing undercut, as they now to get past Lord Danny Boy now. It's going to be close between Velatria Jr. and Johan. Maybe Johan is just going to get in front, maybe about 1.5 seconds is going to be the gap between Velatria and Johan. So you can tell the undercut difference is, I would say it's around about 2.5 seconds, but obviously they get stuck behind Lord Danny Boy and it's now 1.2, so that's how the undercut at the moment.
Yeah, so Joran rejoins in P12 then, plus with a nice comfortable buffer. He needs to warm those tyres up. So Cavalloccio Jr. uses one lap better tyres to try and get himself in the DRS race. Make sure this time he doesn't lose the DRS at the back of Joran. As Mills and Sammy go side by side there. Let's see what they're supposed to up to. Where is the Mills? Where is he? I can't. He's up into P6, so I think Sammy dropped him by himself because he rejoined quite far behind then. Let's see if the top four make their way to the pit lane, and they do, except one driver. Neymar continues for another lap around here in Brazil on the medium compound tyres. Incoming the pit lane, Burmeister and Yusuf as well. We know how hectic it can get between these two. It is very close between Burmeister and Yusuf. Mr. Joker is the other Yusuf there, not to get confused with the Yusuf Shabek. So, in the pit lane they come. I expect Yarum to rejoin in the lead of the Grand Prix, although Velocio Jr. has set the fast up to the Grand Prix. He's caught up to the back of the Hasban then, as he's able to get in his DRS. This time, can he stay in his DRS until the last few laps of the Grand Prix there? Because once you're in someone's DRS, it is so difficult to break it away. As out of the pit lane comes Yusuf, out of the pit lane comes Burmeister, in clean air, behind their rivals as well. So yet to pit from the mediums is Adam, MDJ and Neymar. Other people on the hard compound tyres go for that extra long stint, it seems. But let's see if it pays in their favour when they put on the medium compound tyres. The highest medium runner, or the highest half runner, sorry, is Lord by the top G, but he has been struggling throughout this race then, and he hasn't really shown any pace, and he's stuck behind MDJ considering his tyres should be better at the stage of the Grand Prix as well.
Yeah, obviously sometimes you'll feel like the medium compound tyres works better in the second stint, or the hard compound tyres works better in the second stint. So it all depends on I suppose your driving style as well. But like I said, Lord Danny Boy, not Lord Danny Boy, Lord Brad the top G, seems to be struggling a little bit. Obviously Lela Caspino, Atlas Copo and Samad all on as hard compound tyres. They've been struggling a little bit as well in these hard compound tyres. So let's see if the guys who've just pitted for hard compound tyres struggle as well. Obviously, like I said, the more durable tyre, we're seeing them some mover, Caspino and Atlas Copo getting past each other for P4 and P5. Obviously, that's not going to be for the actual position, because obviously they still need to make that pit stop to go onto the medium compound tyres.
So then, The situation is Neymar's rejoined the P11 on the back of the train with the fresher hard compound tyres. Crucially rejoins the headload at the bar because that's the worst thing he needed to be detached even more from this train. So the top 5 haven't pitted just yet. The net race leader is Yarum in P6 there, but can he keep it out of control? Because this time he's got a whole gaggle of cars in the DRS train after he broke out of it in the first stint, thanks to the battles between Preston Elite and Yusuf as well. But Velocio Jr., who made a big mistake out of turn 1 and turn 2, lost the rear in the car, but ever since then he has been fighting back and bouncing back. He's put that mistake behind him. He knows there's a big chance in front of him. We're past halfway into this race, and Mills has still stayed out there as Caspino's now pitted. That's quite early going to be the compound tyres, in my opinion, for Caspino there. But here comes Velocio Jr. I think he's going to play this wisely, you know. He's seen the DRS game. He knows what to expect. He doesn't want to be first in this train, so what he's trying to do is stick in the middle, keep President Elite behind whilst using the back of Yoram, because obviously you don't want to get swamped on the last lap as well, because we've seen it plenty of times that some people get out dragged on the line.
Yeah, this is what we normally see now in league racing in general, to be fair, especially on this game. Obviously, the DRS is so powerful. You use that DRS to kind of like defend off the guys behind you and obviously just not overtake the guy in front of you. Obviously, if you do, you're going to lose the DRS and then it's going to be impossible for you to defend. And obviously, you normally go for the attack, for the lead. Normally now, on the final lap of the Grand Prix, that's probably your best opportunity to get that win, is on that final lap of the Grand Prix, as long as you make sure you have enough of that ERS. We've seen that a lot of the times now in SFR in general, and obviously people have been learning that DRS is very powerful on this game. We all know that now, so we kind of use it tactically and go for those moves for the lead on that final lap. So it looks like Velocio is going to do the same thing. Just use that DRS to defend off, and also to actually no, he's going to go for it now. Why not? Okay, past the Yarham he goes, and I suppose he's going to try and take that lead to get out that dirty air and see if he can maybe pull away. But Yarham's going to get DRS straight away and maybe re-past him. But obviously, June's going to go. So there comes President Elite. Is it going to be 2 for 1, or is it just going to be Yarham? Goes side by side, gets a bit caught up on the curve there, but it's still side by side between Yarham and the President Elite. Who's going to back out here? Surely it's going to be Yarham who's going to keep that position. He's going to try and go around the outside President Elite. He is still there. He's going to have to give him room, but Yarham is able to keep that P5 position.
President Elite came out of nowhere down the inside towards turn 4. Great responsive, defensive there from Yoram now as he's in P5. Yusuf as well, looking very handy on the newer hard compound tyres then. So him, Burmeister and Neymar on the back of this train are on the fresher hard compound tyres. Yes, 2 or 3 laps makes a difference on this game, believe it or not. As Mills is the only driver out there on the medium compound tyre who hasn't stopped. Mindful Wasp has, but he will pit once again. So interesting strategy for Mills. Probably goal hanging for safety car. Their tyres are well past their best, and as Martin Bundle would say, they would have passed an OMT test.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, Jamie. I think that's the only reason why Emils is still out, hoping for a safety car, maybe. But 20 lap old medium compound tyres, when he comes out on hard compound tyres, new hard compound tyres, he's going to be pretty much down P15 about if he obviously pits now. So why not stay out? There's a yellow flag now, so this might be an opportunity for him. That's Mindful Wasp actually in the wall with the front wing, and it's a virtual safety car.
Oh, my goodness.
Safety car, but it does give Mills maybe an opportunity to obviously not lose too much time.
Yes, I was about to say, Mills has probably been benefits of the gift of this as well, but he would love a daily safety car to come out, but it's a VSC. He really hopes the VSC stays out longer so he doesn't lose time there, because your lap time increases by 40%. A VSC introduced since 2015, and for the first time, I think it was Max Verstappen who caused that as he crashed in towards turn 1. VSC, introduced. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it still, but in the pit lane comes in Mills and Simon then. So Simon's going from hards to mediums. The highest medium runner is Lord by the top G, but this has worked in a treat for Mills so far. He won't lose a lot of time as he usually would do, as the guys behind him on newer tyres, and definitely get a big gap over here, but he won't lose a lot of time. There's your rivals on the pit straight. In the pit lane is that last Copa as well. I thought it was Neymar, but I'll say there because he would completely blow the strategy away. So Simon's pitted. Soft compound tyres indeed then for Mills. He believes he can make it work. Let's have a look to see what he does. He is 8th place at the moment, unless he gets overtaken by Lord by the top G. Here we are, out of turn 3. Lord by the top just to adhere to his... Yep, Mills got ahead.
Yeah, so it's P8 for Emils, and obviously everyone ahead of him, hard compound tyres. What's the gap at the moment between himself and the leader? 9.4 seconds. Obviously, it's going to go increase a little bit more. Now we've got up to full speed, so we're going to have a look. But here comes Lord Brad the Top G trying to go around the outside, and Mills should be able to get it covered. Yes, he does. 8.4 is the gap between the Mills and the leader.
My TV's about to turn off then, so I need to try and find the remote as quickly as I can because that's there we go then. So the TV has been sorted itself out. So the situation now that Mills has benefited from a cheap pit stop. The gap is only 2.2 between himself and MDJ there. Then he has to catch up towards the top 6. So let's see. That was his strategy play all along. The soft compound tyres aren't too bad around here, but obviously not ideal, of course. Yusuf, Mr. Joker, is right behind President Leeds as we head down towards turn 1 now. Let's see. It's a late move from Yusuf down the inside. Contact there between the two. Both lose the car as we continue our scrap there. More contact. Oh no! He makes contact with the wheel again, and Yusuf, Mr. Joker, unfortunately comes off worse. And look at this, Burmeister out of nowhere once again is down the inside in towards turn 14. There's contact and McLaren goes off the track. Burmeister was a little bit later there on the brakes there, trying to make sure that President Leeds did have the outside line run to get him in towards the next corner. But Burmeister, from starting from P12 to P3, the pace is just obscene from Burmeister so far. This is why he's becoming a champion. Even though we're qualified, it looks like a bit of a scruffy attempt there as Sammy gets passed up by the top G for P9 and P10. Mills is catching up, but this is what making Burmeister to become a champion FSFR, because he's really shown his innovation, his skills as well, his patience, his calmness, and whether he's attacking, he's very methodical as well. He's a very, very good driver, good mindset. As Mindful Wasp has retired from the session there, and he has left as well. What a shame for Mindful Wasp, and it's the only DNF so far in this Grand Prix. But Burmeister, what an incredible drive from the Dutchman.
He reminds me of a certain Harry Kane of last season. But obviously he's basically the Harry Kane of Division 2, let's say, for Burmeister. He makes those moves when he knows he needs to, and at the moment all the moves he's done are basically from other people's mistakes. So whatever mistake people do, he's going to take full advantage of it straight away, and that's what he's been doing so far. That's why he's in the position that he is at the moment, P3. And obviously, again, he will look for a mistake from Veloce and Yartham. So as they make a mistake, he will go through. That's what I've seen so far during this Grand Prix from Burmeister. And again, that's what he'll be looking for, a mistake from the top two. As soon as they do make that little bit of mistake, he will be going through.
Exactly. Burmeister has scored on the podium in every single race except Belgium when he had that sickness, and I think he fell down the stairs as well. So we can excuse that for the time being. But behind us, President Leeds is under pressure from Neymar. Neymar has been sitting patiently in P5. This time it must be said for Neymar, it's a cleaner race. He did go for mediums to hards to mediums during the first safety car in Abu Dhabi, which cost him dearly because the medium compound tyres were just dead for him. But now he's pressurising President Leeds, who seems to be struggling a little bit, and now the Mercedes is up to the inside as he puts himself into P4. Can somehow Neymar Rig find himself on the podium for the third time this season? He won back in Imola, he scored a podium back in Hungary, but his results hasn't really been looking promising so far this season. But he's coming back to the field, and he's on the younger hard compound tyres as well. Further down the field, that's Yusuf and Klusler scrapping away for P15 to 16. There was Adams on the rear end of this train, but I'm enjoying this fight so far. This has been a fantastic race. There is 11 laps to go, and it could be very climatic towards the end of the Grand Prix. It is down towards the top 6 to decide who wins here in Brazil.
Yeah, as Emils has now caught up to Samad, just under a second. I think it was the gap of about 3 seconds when he first came into the pit lane. But Emils is trying to make it work, and it's not working. Not really at the moment, and he's going to lose even more pace as the race goes on. He's just outside that DRS as President Elite and Yusuf side by side. That's massive contact between the two drivers, and yeah, I don't really know who to blame now. I think President Elite should have left him space, to be fair, because they were side by side.
Yarrow puts himself back into first place. I was about to say, Velocio Jr. is in the race for the first time since he got down towards turn on the lap 1 when he took pole. So he's finally back up there. Do you know what? It's been a great recovery drive for Velocio Jr. so far in the Aston Martin, considering he went off down a turn 2 and turn 3. Side goes to Williams of Burmeister on Neymar as they continue in the slow speed corners. It's a fight for trash at these corners as Neymar has a nose ahead, but Burmeister will have the inside line towards turn 10 unless Neymar can do the under and over, which he can't do so because Burmeister has a somewhat decent exit and in the middle of the road as well. There is 10 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. It could be the top 5's gain, but unfortunately for Yusuf, Mr. Joker, he won't be a part of this equation then. So it's down to these guys. Emils is catching Samir and Samir is catching MDJ, who's on the back of Yusuf as well. But here we are with the DRS wide open. Velocio Jr. retakes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix, but I can make a comfortable prediction that you don't want to be there when it comes to the last lap of the Grand Prix because there's 2 DRS zones, a plus, well, 3 if you include that at the final corner as well because all the way down to the run, but 2 DRS zones, 3 chances of DRS, and it's going to get very spicy towards the end. I've seen plenty of situations in the past where the leader has been out-dragged by the guys behind. MDJ has re-overtaken Yusuf, but of course he's on those better medium hard compound tyres, but Samir there is looking for a move. Here he is around the outside, goes off the track, and he took advantage of that then as he puts himself into P7. Nice audacious move, but I think Mills already in this race is starting to struggle on the soft compound tyres. He's already done 5 laps, but Neymar's so close once again. Here he is, in towards turn 10 we go. It is a launch of the inside of Burmeister. Can he make it stick this time around? He does, but Burmeister has to back off the throttle, otherwise contact would have been made there. But now President Elite is putting pressure on him.
Yeah, I don't think Burmeister would have been very happy with Neymar there to make a move, but can't see all his time. They've got Alice Copo who's gone off, but yeah, like I said, Burmeister and Neymar were lost some time, like we can see, nearly just over a second, and that would have been an absolute nightmare if it was over a second for these guys, because then Joachim and Velocio Jr. would have been able to work together to pull away. But luckily, it's just over a second, under a second, sorry. So Burmeister, is he going to have another look? No, I think he's going to stay behind Neymar for now.
Here he is then. So Neymar, who was very strong towards the start of the season, but got himself involved in a couple of incidents. He has been on the podium since 7-8 races ago then, so Neymar is looking to break that streak, but there's one driver I don't want to have behind me, which is this, but oh no, big complications now for this race for Velocio Jr. He has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty, and any chances of winning this Grand Prix has gone now out the window unless everybody picks up a 3-second time penalty, which is unlikely then. So which one of these 4 are going to win? Yarum, Neymar, Burmeister, President Elite, they're all very, very strong drivers indeed. But it's going to be about tactics, where you are on the last couple of laps of the Grand Prix, how much battery you have as well, and when you decide to make that move as well. But here comes Yarum now with the DRS. When he decides to go for it now or back off, he will take the lead of the Grand Prix, interestingly, as he puts himself into first place. Is that because Burmeister and Neymar, he knows that Velocio Jr.'s got a 3-second penalty, so we can use it for DRS, like swap places all the time?
Yeah, now obviously now he's got the 3-second penalty. He's got to think of something else now to try his best to just finish on the podium now. Obviously, at the moment he'll fall all the way down to P5. Obviously without everyone else not having that penalty, and obviously the top 5 are in this battle for the lead at the moment. So he's going to lose a bunch of the positions if he can't think of. He just has to try and do what he can now and just stay with Joachim and hope that something happens with these guys, because obviously that chance of a podium and the chance of a win is at the moment is just thrown out the window.
It is indeed then. So has Java played his cards right? Can Burmeister get ahead of Neymar because he's 4th in the US train? Not where he wants to be, but President Lee goes off the track in the final few corners of this racetrack. I think he just outbroke himself there. I've got himself in the grass, but crucially, he's still in the DRS range of Burmeister. Surely not the hard compound tyres for him are starting to fade away. They're so durable. Here comes Velocio Jr. now, alongside Yarum as he puts himself into first place. So I think these two then, knowing that they're going to swap and change at the bit there and try and keep themselves in first and second place, and hope and wish that Velocio Jr., somebody around here, picks up a 3-second penalty to make sure he stays on the podium or get a high result. He still finishes at P5, by the way, despite that 3-second penalty, but of course it's a shame there for him because it's so frustrating to pick up the penalties, especially when you lead the Grand Prix. No, there's a chance for the win. MDJ off the track, and he almost lost the car, fighting with Samit there as he got pinched on the outside, and through goes Mr. Joker now as he puts himself into P7 there. Great save from the Dutchman of MDJ.
We've now got another yellow flag. Alice Copo once again. He's made another mistake, so he's not having fun at all in those medium compound tyres. So yeah, that's not good for him, of course. But let's see if Samad, Youssef, and MDJ can maybe catch up to the top 5. Obviously, they're all with 3-second pedals. Burmeister loses it on the final corner, so he's not having that momentum now going up to that straight. But it might give President Elite an opportunity to get past the Burmeister. But it seems like Burmeister's back up to speed again. Lord Danny Boy is now at a 3-second penalty. But yeah, obviously with Samad, Youssef and MDJ, they've really got nothing to lose now. Obviously, they're all 3-second time penalty. They've all got 3-second time penalties, so they're not. Well, they could catch up to the top 5, but obviously it's going to be a hill to climb if they do. 3 seconds is a gap between 5th and 6th at the moment, so they're just going to try and battle it out for this P6 position, but make sure Lord Brad, the top G, doesn't get too close. Obviously, otherwise they're going to lose at least one position, and that's going to be good advantage for Lord Brad. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But top 5 still really close to each other, and obviously, like we know, most race and every single race that we've commentated on, Jamie, in SFR, you certainly don't know who the winner is going to be until probably the final lap of the Grand Prix. And again, it's going to be the same way.
Yeah, just like in Austria as well. But here, the DRS is open. You can outdrag your rivals as well. There's one driver as well that I'm very surprised about during this Grand Prix is Lord Brad Top G. Qualified in P4, but not at one single stage during the race, even though he was in the DRS fights in the lead of the train. Not once has he shown the pace in the first or second stint there. So maybe his qualifying was much better in terms of his, obviously, from his race pace, because he maybe set up towards the quali and maybe struggled in the race. Not quite sure how much practice he's done, but unfortunately, just nowhere down in P9. He's got Mills right behind him on those soft compound tyres there. We should be coming to the end of their peak performance. Electro Dan gets ahead of Klusler for P12 as well as we continue towards the top as the guys remain in formation. No changes so far. We know what's coming in the next few laps of the Grand Prix. It's all about where you are as well. Placing yourself at it's so stressful because you have to think as well long term. Whilst you're racing at high speed, it's difficult enough trying and control the car, making sure you get the braking point right as well, and the battery as well. You've got to think long term, like where do I want to be towards the last few laps of the Grand Prix? Do I want to be behind Joram? Do I give Joram the DRS so we can defend from Neymar and Burmeister behind as well? So yeah, a lot of questions to be asked, and the answers will be coming soon.
Yeah, Electro Dan are not. Both Oliver and Electro Dan are both basically having a battle on their own at the moment. Same with, I think it's Adams and Klusser also having a battle on their own, down at P12, 13, 14, 15, sorry, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, both Aston Martins, Williams, old Constructors Championship rivals, of course, from last season, and having another little battle, obviously, Aston Martin and Williams in the top 5 as well. But obviously, we've got both Aston Martins with a 3-second penalty, and it starts to be a little bit chaotic with Joram getting that lead. Veloce Abdul Jr. and Neymar going side by side. This important move for Neymar, and he gets that move done. And Burmeister also on the grass.
Yeah,
I don't know
apologies
why
about
he's
that.
backed off, but
Yeah, Velocio Jr. in the mid-corner just backed off. President Elite is up into P3, so Burmeister stays where he is, and there's a red ball on RB, who has gone for a spin at the turn number 1. That's Lord Danny Boy, sorry, who's gone for that spin at turn number 1 there. Unfortunately, his day goes from bad to worse. But Burmeister got caught out big time because the exit at turn 4, while she watched Neymar and Joram, Burmeister had a massive snap there trying to counteract it as he got jumped by President Elite around the outside in towards turn 6 and turn 7. So there is 3 laps left to go in this race. It could be anybody's game. The top 4 do not have a 3-second penalty, and already Neymar will take the lead going down in towards turn 1. But like we mentioned before, is this the best chance to do it? Is this the right opportunity? Because there is 3 laps. I don't think the guys behind, well, obviously like President Lee will try and do something, try and outdrag them both if he can do so, but Burmeister is in the back of the DRS train, and here comes Joram as he goes past him, and that's very crucial for him as well, not to get swallowed up by the guys behind. Now he goes a bit wide as Neymar. President Elite, who has had some really good pace once again here in Brazil, like he did back in Mexico as well. But the ERS management is not quite sufficient between these drivers. Every single driver so far in the top 5. No! President Elite has picked himself up as 3-second time penalty in a very weird place as well. Unbelievable scene to deep. Burmeister now could find himself on the podium. Oh, it's a shame for President Elite. They're doing such a good job. He got past Burmeister, making his way through the field as well. But he will not now definitely be on the podium tonight, unfortunately, here at SFR.
Yeah, so our podium's pretty much going to be confirmed then, as long as Joachim, Neymar, and Burmeister all doesn't pick up a 3-second penalty, and this will be our podium. Obviously, Burmeister now would have to try and get past President Elite as soon as possible because that's going to be an opportunity for Burmeister for a win. Neymar and Joachim go side by side. Ben Velocio Jr. going side by side.
Oh, through goes Burmeister! Burmeister goes through! So he was about to lose a place towards Velocio Jr. Then gained 2 immediately due to the expense of Joram and President Elite going side by side then. So, oh dear me. Joram then, with a big chance to win the Grand Prix, made contact out of turn 3 and turn 4, and then Burmeister out of nowhere slips through. It's just like Max Verstappen, of course, in the rain in 2024 as well, and 2016 when he produced those dominant skills. Burmeister in the dry has gone, from P14 to P2. Unbelievable season.
Tell you what, that move really reminded me of Through Goes Hamilton 2022 Silverstone with Perez and Leclerc going wide, and then Hamilton just went straight through. Very much reminded me of that move with Burmeister, but obviously that was around Brazil. But that is giving Burmeister the opportunity out of nowhere to give him the win. Neymar goes actually quite wide, to be fair, but to be honest with Burmeister, he doesn't really want to make the move now. He wants to do it on the next lap when the DRS is long. But Burmeister, he might go for it now, and yes, he is. He's going to go straight for it and see if he can defend off Neymar for the lap.
Here comes Joram down the inside of Burmeister in towards turn 1. Then so Burmeister does not have the DRS. Joram got past Neymar at the right time. They went 3 abreast on the straight with Burmeister on the right. Joram on the left. Neymar in the middle. But he's not overtaking him. He's pushing him along. He almost spun him in towards the barriers as well, because his car was airborne for just a few seconds, so he's getting a nicer drift there. But President Elite is coming back around the outside in towards turn 6 and turn 7 we go. Has more speed around the outside. That's a great move. It's a shame he has that 3-second time penalty. Other people have caught up to this battle as well, but it's a bit too late. But Burmeister, can he get his 4th win of the season? The championship leader, who has been on the podium 4 times in a row. Can he make it 5 here? Can he pick up his 4th win? And what about Joram, the man who's been struggling the last few races, challenging Burmeister since the first race, but nothing seems to go his way. But could it go his way then? As the DRS will be enabled very shortly, or the battery will be used. But I don't think Joram has any response. Burmeister from P14 to P1, and here comes Neymar. Back on the podium he goes with President Elite's 3-second time penalty. But it is Burmeister who wins the Brazilian Grand Prix from starting 14th on the grid. Fantastic drive. MDJ from P17 to P6. That's just incredible once again from Burmeister. Really showing what he's capable of as well. It's not all about where you start, it's all about where you finish, and he's taking that meaning taking those words to a whole new meaning indeed. And Joram once again will have to settle for P2. Neymar on the podium as well. That's his 3rd podium this season, which came in Hungary and in Imola as well. But what a race that was, Owen Man. So thank you so much for being here with me.
Yeah, no worries, mate. It's been a pleasure to actually do a little bit of comms on Division 2. But yeah, Joachim is going to be so annoyed with that, I'm going to say, because he has been in the lead pretty much the whole race, only for it to be thrown away in the last 2 laps of the Grand Prix with that little bit of contact that was made at turn number 2. So that's going to be a little bit annoying for Joachim there, but it's still another podium for him. But Burmeister, with that win, extends his championship lead even more.
He does indeed, then. So that's fantastic there. What he needed, because his championship rivals behind him did not pick up the points they wanted as well, especially when they got in their own bit of a spot of bother there. But hopefully we're here from the top 3. We know Burmeister likes to go outside for a little bit just before he joins the podium interviews, because he has a sweat on. But let's see what the Dutchman, who is about to become the world champion, let's see what he does. Let's see what he has to say during the podium interviews. As there comes the trophies then, shaking their hands there, as we can see that Burmeister once again for the 4th time lifts up the top step of the podium as the podium celebrations are underway, with Joram in P2 and 3rd place belonging to Neymar as well. So let's see what the people have to say. There are you for the classifications then. It is Burmeister who wins ahead of Joran by 0.5 of a second. Neymar finished in P3. Personally, good recovery as well in P4 ahead of Loshio Jr., who also had his misfortunes during the early segment of the Grand Prix. MDJ for P17 to P6. Samit P7 ahead of Yusuf. Lord by the top GP9 as ahead of him goes Mills. Oliver Letrodan, Klusler Adams, Yusuf Shabek, Caspino, Alas Kopazinum, and Michael Wasp. 19 drivers finished in this race. No VSC, no safety car either, so that was, yeah, there is a VSC, sorry, there was a VSC. I believe one of our drivers then have joined the interviews there, so we can kickstart the podium interviews with you then, mate. Neymar, back on the podium then. It's been quite a while, but what's your thoughts, emotions going into this race? Did you think there was a bit more as well? Did you get caught out by the guys behind having DRS as well? You might as well be, by the way, Neymar, if you're speaking.
Oh, yeah. I was just loading, you know. What did you ask?
So, it's your third podium of the season. You had a podium in Hungary and in Imola as well, but it hasn't really been the best results in the last few races. What's changed from Abu Dhabi to now? Because, like, I know you've got some good pace, but at the same time, it's just a bit difficult to string it all together. So, what have you changed for this race in Brazil?
I think in this race I was in quite the same position as Imola. I think I had the pace to actually win it, and then I just didn't manage to as Johan hit me. But I was very happy to be back in this group. I feel like two or three of the last couple of races I have the pace, but strategy or something had been against them, and some I just didn't have the pace. So I'm very happy to be back here. Really didn't expect anything. So yeah, very happy.
Yeah, very happy indeed. They're very good race between you guys as well. Played it very smartly with the DRS. And how stressful is it? Because you're in a fight for the lead, and throughout the whole race, you just got to think on your toes, like, what do I do next? Is it like, do I do this or do I do that? What's your mindset going into the races? Like, how do you cope with the pressure?
Well, as you said in the last races, I haven't put it together. So what I did this race was to try keep it steady, as I didn't, if you remember Imola, where I just stayed behind and stayed cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go into the fights until the end. And I knew I had the best tires from pitting to the latest in that group. So I just kept going and kept my battery up and my tires up until then, where I could begin fighting.
Well, good job today, mate. Nice to see you back on the podium for the first time since the Hungarian Grand Prix, Imola Grand Prix, sorry. And how are you? What's your emotions and thoughts going to Japan next week?
Can't be good, can't be bad. I didn't have any expectations here, so let's see. Normally I've done pretty good at Japan, but let's see now. I enjoy the track, I think. So yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your insights, mate. Nice to have you on the podium interviews again. And yeah, good luck for the next races. Speak to you later.
And thank you for good commenting.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. So we move on. See you later. We move on to the man in P2. For the first time, he does join the podium interviews, and I'm pretty sure we want to get kickstarted away. So, Yara, mate, welcome back to the podium. It's been quite a while as well because of your last few races. What's been going on the last few races? Because, like, you've definitely got the pace like we've seen, but it's just that something always happens at the wrong time, wrong place. I know you want. Yeah. So was your game plan then just to wait for the final lap of the Grand Prix to overtake him then? But obviously it's a bit too far ahead. Yeah. Well, were you working with Neymar to try and get you? Yeah. Yeah, your best result came at the Mexican Grand Prix, no, the Austrian Grand Prix, sorry, when you won the race. It's been a long time since then, but you're still P5 in the championship. I don't think the championship might be in your mind, but P2, P3 could seem to still be an opportunity for you. How are you feeling for the next couple of races, mate? Are you more confident now with this win under your belt? I mean, sorry, this second place under your belt? Can we expect a Yara masterclass? Yeah. I remember when you spun there last season in Japan. You took Poland's spun. Anyways, mate, nice to talk to you for the first time as well this season, and congratulations on another podium. Like, fantastic drive, and don't be too disheartened because there's still more chances left to come up during the rest of the season. So keep it up. We're moving on to Burmeister. Burmeister, mate, it is your 4th win of the season. It is your 5th podium in a row. My guy, you are just on a running streak right now. I don't understand how you do it because you started P14, and I said to myself, all right, this time Burmeister will make his way through. But he did. You did, and I don't know how then. So talk us through what was going in your head during the race.
Well, I had the same thoughts, but then on the other side, I also know that I have a good race setup. I take better care of my tires in a race, so halfway the stints or in the end of the stint on the hards, I was a bit lucky, like Jarm told, he got pushed there, but I told, like, when I was behind, I think in P4, and someone in front of me took a penalty, 3 seconds, I don't know who it was, maybe a McLaren. Like 6 laps before the end, I told to Oliver in the party, like, well, I'm staying behind, I'm just taking no risk.
Yeah.
I let them fight, and I'll let them fight for it, and when they are gonna make chaos, I'm gonna make my profit, you know. So that was basically the plan from the last 6 laps, but yeah. I don't know either, mate. I take better care of my tires, I think, and I see everybody with time trial setups starting to struggle after 6 laps on mediums or something.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. And is the championship starting to now come into your mind? Are you thinking to yourself, yes, I've got a good chance to win the championship, or is it just the one race at a time focused mentality?
The championship is on my mind all season, and now with Youssef's battling me, they're motivating me more. I did not really practice for this track, only Friday or no, Sunday I think. But I had like a barbecue before, so I wasn't really sharp, but I did the practice, I knew the fuel, and I'm quite confident here because it's in the game for years, so yeah, and I also knew, like, in the race, my setup was really good in the second sector, in the cornery section, and yeah, it was just waiting for the others to go the tires off, and in the end I was a bit lucky with them fighting for P1, P2 and P3.
Indeed it was. So yeah, well done today, Burmeister. Congratulations on your 4th win this season. You continue to extend the gap over Yusuf, and yeah, well done, mate. Keep it up, and we should see you crowned the world champion very, very soon. Maybe a Dutch Grand Prix, because it is the plus race. What a signing that would be for you.
I saw that today on the calendar, yeah, but let's not go there. Let's go race by race. But I have one question for you as well. Who's the driver of the day?
I hate being put on the spot, but I'm going to give it to you. It must be you.
Thanks, mate.
I know. I really hate being in charge as driver of the day. I hate it so much. It's just that all the guys are like, you say, why is it not me? Why is it not me? I was like, come on, man. I don't know.
Yeah, mate, P14 to P1 with no, like, real safety cars or something is
easy one. It's an easy one for me today.
No, it was really enjoyable, and I enjoyed it, but I was super focused as well during the race, like make no mistakes, don't take like really risks, and be patient for others to make mistakes, and I think the patience was key today.
It's always key in motorsport, and that's where you be that's where patience will get you most in life as well, and it's definitely getting you most here in SFR. So yeah, goed gedaan vandaag today.
Dankjewel, maat.
Geen probleem, jongen.
Thanks, mate. Unlucky in the end, but yeah. Yeah, I was happy with thanks mate, thanks guys, but I was happy with P3 as well because I'm just trying.
We
to
three
make
were
the-
teaming hardly in the end.
What?
We three, the group, us teaming harder in the end to get the guys away in the back.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't interfering too much in the beginning of the last stint with you guys, but then in the end, yeah, the dices have to roll somewhere in the last 5 laps.
I stayed out a lot more than you guys, but catched up in the end because you were fighting, so it was a good move, I think.
Yeah, but in the end, I think we ended up behind some back runners or something because they undercutted us or something, and then we were really unlucky with the virtual safety car with the hard runners. But luckily, we survived that.
But on the last lap, Yaham, you sent it into my front tire, so I really had to correct it like crazy. I was so close to go off. I got sandwiched between you and Burmeister.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream right now. So it's been a pleasure to talk to all 3 of you, and good luck for the next couple of races as well. So that's it then for SFR. It is time to move on, and I think next week, and I've already said it, it is going to be the Japanese Grand Prix. We move over to Asia as well, the land of the rising sun. Moving over to the Japanese Grand Prix next week. It should be a classic one. We'll see you all later. Join Tiger Buchanan, Oliver Smith back for Division 3, Charlie Smith for Division 4, me and Owen Mansell for Division 2, me and Owen Mansell for Division 1. So we'll see you all later. Goodbye for now, and take care. We move on to the Japanese Grand Prix next week.